Hi, welcome to LTV. Welcome to Reggie's Roundtable, Chapter 3. And again, my guest is Eugene Hamilton. If you didn't see the last show, he is an old friend who has been on Haim Mizrahi's LTV show. How many times have you been on there? Well, he's a familiar.
Hundreds.
He's not an unfamiliar face on here, and we decided to get together and talk about issues mostly relating to the Black History Month, what it means for the country today, where we stand today compared to the past, how much progress are we making or not, and we've gotten into a little bit into the weeds on specifics more than I had wanted to. So I just want to say that the country, right from the beginning, wanted to get, they knew, the leaders of this country, Jefferson, even Patrick Henry, I had no idea he had said this. This is an impassioned plea. It goes on for, it's a letter to a woman who's leading us an abolitionist movement somewhere up north. And it's an impassioned agreement with her. But he says, I'm trapped in this. He owned slaves. He's from Virginia. He said, I am in this system. He's literally, you can see, he's anguished about it, but he's not giving up the slaves. And then you compare that to a man who summed it up, the whole struggle, he summed it up beautifully. A man named Alan Keyes, who I think was actually, he got into politics for a while. He ran for president. He was active in the Republican Party for a good, at least a decade or so. But his problem was he was too articulate. He was too smart. He didn't have what they would call the common touch. He didn't have what a Lincoln or a Clinton have, that ability to go, hey, how you doing,
Glad hand.
A glad hander. Not that Lincoln was a glad hander, but he knew enough to...
He was folksy.
He was folksy, exactly. Keyes was not folksy. He was an intellectual, and you were going to hear big words from him that would leave you scurrying for your thesaurus. But anyway, he summed up this whole thing in a beautiful sentence. The American dream is not just about money and material advancement. It is a dream of freedom. Boom. So in other words, he got what Jefferson said with what is it? What are we going for? The freedom, the pursuit of love bomb and the
Pursuit of freedom.
What's that? That's the third. What's the you know what I mean?
Inalienable rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness. Jefferson has a very well-spoken thing. A little bit longer. Keyes sums it up in two sentences. It's not about just good fortune and it's a freedom. If you're free to fail. You're free to succeed beyond your wildest expectations. And that's why this is what I want to bring up, Gene. I want to get to this before we
get back
down the dirt
Get back
roads.
to Wilson, but we'll get to Wilson, then we'll get to Mom.
All right. Yes, definitely. Show a picture of your mom. What was she in the Army?
Yeah, this is
no, the other way.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is okay.
What was her name?
What is her name?
Oh, she's alive. I didn't know.
It doesn't matter whether she's alive or not. Her name is still her name.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
This is Lieutenant Lelia Ziler Lawrence, Second Lieutenant, United States Air Force. She was part of the first women air traffic directors.
Wow.
In the United States, which means that when mission control...
Wait, was this when the Air Force was still controlled by the Army? The Air Force was the Army.
This was the United States Air Force, not Army Air Corps.
Okay.
Air Force.
Okay.
So when there was a mission, her and the other women in her group, they gave the directions to the aircraft, bombing runs, missions, routes. They were the communication link from the tower to whatever. Unlike an air traffic controller, where you've got all these, commercial flights and whatever coming in, they were literally responsible for directing the aircraft, coordinates, weather, all this stuff. High stress. Now, this little lady, there we go. This little lady I'm writing about, I think I was telling you. And when I look at the sum total of her existence, she, as I said to you before, and I said to my sister this morning, I go, wow, you know what? Mom was a badass. And when you look at, it's Black History Month, being African American, her father was mixed with Cherokee, Scottish, derived from Europe, whatever, and African, right? African, slaves. So you don't get much more American than that. The natives of the land, people brought in to work the land, and the people who controlled the narrative of the land. So that combination of genetics and experience and tenacity. I mean, I can't even. I probably I have to do a whole show on Mom. But either way.
Well, I would love to do that with you. Talk about.
Oh, actually, I could do a whole show on Mom and Dad.
I know
because they're both.
I just want to get to this overview. I see the elements of a Greek tragedy unfolding. Blacks went through a terrible 100 years from African American. I don't know what.
What doesn't matter? The label doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that you said tragedy.
Yeah. Right now, I think unfolding in front of us. No, it could be. Just let me finish.
I'll let you finish.
From 1865, the end of the war, until 1965, there was progress, but it was mighty slow, and there were three steps forward or 2 steps backwards, depending on where you were, what your niche was. But right now, we are in a period where opportunities, I don't think anybody can argue this, opportunities for African Americans are there. There are more wealthy, the wealthiest African population in the world is in the United States.
I don't think that's true.
No, it is.
No,
it is.
It's not true.
Oh, anyway, I'm telling you, Chief.
No, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. But go ahead.
So that's my assertion. Anyway,
assertion and assumption.
And yet, we have these terrible problems in our inner cities. We have a large number of, I think that what happened was, just as a large number of black were going to college, is exactly when the communists took over our colleges.
Okay.
And let me finish. They're learning an anti-American message. And the white kids are too, believe me. I have nieces and nephews who they go to college, their parents spend $40,000-$50,000 a year, and they come out, look what they're doing now, they're chanting pro-Hamas slogans, not even knowing what the river is that they're talking about, the river, and what's river and what's sea. Anyway, let me just finish.
Oh, you finish? Okay.
It's just a tragedy that this is happening at a time when the opportunities for African Americans, they're out there now, and yet this is a political show, so I'm going to bring what I want it to be. The communists knew from early 1900s, they knew what the American Achilles heel was and how to pick at it. Race. We can stir up, and now fortunately for the United States, most blacks said, hey, screw that. You're just not giving me my piece of the pie. I don't hate America. I just want my slice of it. And we were way too slow and reluctant and hypocritical to achieve what we should have achieved. So I see now we should be in a golden era. You can point to black. We will. Okay, let me.
I'm waiting for you to finish. Come on, wrap it up.
I hope you're right.
We've got 10 minutes left.
I hope you're right.
Well, you'll find out that I'm right when you let me get my conclusion. But go ahead.
Let me finish. That I hope that we have a turnaround. There are demagogues out there teaching victimhood instead of opportunityhood. They're out. Gina, you can't deny it. They're out there.
I'm not denying anything. I'm agreeing with you. But
the black culture that you are so up on and so well versed in, jazz, the music, and art, all that stuff. Can you imagine what those jazz musicians of the 30s? You take a Louis Jordan or who's the guy at the piano? Fats Waller. I love that kind of upbeat.
Fats Waller, that was later on, but Thelonious, he was deep.
But anyway,
he also studied
all that stuff. Can you imagine they look at a black entertainment, a BET show now? They would
Okay.
No, but I'm just saying, that's the cultural, but the opportunities for I sat through your thing. Let me,
You brought me on your show. Okay, come on. Game clock is on.
I just want to say that let's hope that these communist bastards don't turn the ship in the wrong, get us steered in the wrong direction. Because right now they're doing it, not just with black kids, but white kids are coming out of school hating their own country. And we have been, whatever you may say about it, what other nation in history has ever put so many people in the same pot and produced tremendous results, even with all the
Can I ask
hiccups
you a question?
and false starts?
I need just one question. Who are the communists? Who are the communists?
There's Gramsci. There's Antonio Gramsci is one of the leaders. He said in 1921, 22, he said, "We will never conquer the Americans militarily or economically. They're too strong. We can only defeat them by a long march through their institutions." And they have assiduously done that, Gene. The left wing.
Okay, right now, who are the communist factors? Give me two individuals that you can denote as communists. Castro's dead.
No. I mean, people in America.
You're talking about American communists.
Sure.
Are they,
Cloward and Piven at Columbia.
are they?
They're
Too small. They're too small. They're too small. Okay, that's it. That's it.
You asked me my opinion.
Okay.
But Obama was a communist. He's raised by communists. Valerie Jarrett, who is still his consigliere.
Too small.
She's not small.
They're small.
These people,
they don't control. Friends, they don't.
They control Biden.
They don't control Jack.
Where does Obama live?
I don't know. He lives behind my house.
No, he lives a block and a half from the White House.
So what? So what? Okay, look. This is time. This is gonna be fun. I love you, Reggie. Okay. Here we go. No person sitting in a political office controls a damn thing, really. It's the money that put them there. It's the money that put them there that controls it.
They've got the money. They've got Soros. They've got Zucker. These people.
That's money. Now that's money.
That's money. That's real money.
But I'm talking about you've got to stay at that level.
Why did George Soros fund hundreds, not a couple, not 20, not 50, hundreds of local level officials, attorney generals, secretaries of state?
Why did Sheldon Adelson? Why did everybody who's in the billionaire class, everybody in the billionaire class?
Nobody has done it in such a concentrated way as
because this is his neighborhood. But you look at the Walmarts, okay? Let's take it to all the banking families. Let me ask you a question. Who owns BlackRock? Investments.
I have no idea.
I do. And you know, they're the biggest. They own more corporations. They have more corporations under their blanket.
Why? How did they all go woke? How come they're all doing stupid things?
You want to know why? Because if you have this person over here going, "Oh, I'm woke," and let me tell you what woke means for everybody out there, okay? Yes, hot diggity, baby. Woke was something that African Americans had to learn. It was an awareness. Don't go run out in front of the. No.
You're talking Antifa now, not.
No. I'm talking about the original narrative of what woke means. Woke meant to be aware of your surroundings so you didn't get dragged off by the cops. Now it's been usurped by freaking stupid popular freaking culture, which is nothing more than freaking brain freaking carbohydrates to make people even more stupid than they are already. Okay, so this is the problem. The narrative, the language that's used, people take this little soundbite, and because they do not have the capacity to critically think.
No, I don't. I don't think you understand how deeply embedded this.
Really?
This is.
You don't think I do?
East Hampton. No, when it comes to the influence of this leftist way of thinking, our local.
You missed my whole point.
Our high school uses.
You missed my whole point.
Yeah, I'm not missing it, but I think it's wrong.
You don't think that the that the people who control the money don't control the narrative? You think that there's some kind of little boogeyman in a closet, freaking just for fun playing leverage like it's the Wizard of Oz?
They control, the left controls.
The left and the right are the two sides of the same coin.
Well,
It's theater. It's theater, baby.
The left, name a conservative news program.
Fox?
Sort of. They're sort of. They're at least talking about Biden's laptop. Who else is talking about Biden's laptop?
Who cares about Biden's laptop?
Because it's
garbage. It's not facts. It's a distraction. It's all a distraction.
Volume doesn't.
Yes, it does, because you got me. You know what's going to happen.
Well,
I'll dial it down, Reggie.
You got to dial it down.
Okay, there we go. I'm here with Reginald Cornelia.
The left controls every form of communication in this country, and that message you can't help it.
Who's the left?
Left-wing people, left-wing groups.
Hollywood is left?
Yes, Hollywood's totally left.
Okay, who owns Hollywood?
I have no idea. It depends on who you're talking.
No. Who owns Universal Studios?
Listen,
I know.
I don't care.
I lived. Oh, you
All
should
I know
care.
is what their product is.
Right, and that's the problem, Reggie. We're talking about the same thing, but you're not understanding.
Name ABC, CBS, NBC, New York Times.
Who owns it?
LA Times. I don't care who owns it. What's their message?
Should.
What's their?
The message is this part of your society. You shouldn't like this. You shouldn't like that. You should do all of these things that you'd call woke. Okay, so they're pushing that narrative. Now, on the other side of the coin, you're gonna have people who are going to oppose it, right?
No, whoa.
Are you paying?
Right now, the FBI and the DOJ are raiding the homes of people who speak up at school board meetings.
Of course.
SWAT team, did that happen under any Republican president? Any even previous Democrat president? No, it's happening right now.
Co and tell pro.
It's
when
did it happen that school board people who speak up at school boards, people who stand in front of
the Head Start movement? The Head Start movement.
2020 was a revolutionary year in this country. I was at January 6th, and that's been totally misrepresented. There were hundreds of thousands of people peacefully assembled. There were about 1,500 people who actually went to the Capitol, which is over a mile away from. Who has the media talked about until the Republicans took over Congress, and some videotapes are now coming out about what actually happened there. There are hundreds of people arrested, sitting in jail with no charge, and yet on the other side of the White House, in August of 2020, Antifa and BLM had a 3-day riot. Antifa and BLM, they show up organized with bricks and stuff to throw.
The bricks were left on the sidewalk. The bricks were already left on the sidewalk.
Anyway, 3 days.
Let me
finish. 3 days they rioted. They turned over police cars. They injured dozens of Secret Service and Capitol Police. They had to put Trump's family the first night in the bunker for the first time since the War of 1812. That's the first time that's happened since the war. How many people were prosecuted for that? None.
I have no idea.
Well, see, that's the problem. You don't know because the media.
I don't rely on the media. I rely on information.
Are you surprised that you don't know that?
Well, it wasn't interest to me.
You should be.
But guess what? I will drill down on it. I will have that information for you the next time we show up.
I don't have to. I have it.
Well, you have it. I want to have my own because I have my own sources.
Look it up.
And I will bring them in triplicate.
Not one person was.
Black History Month. Okay, let's get back on it. Okay,
this is part of it.
Okay, well, what about when the Black Panthers and all of these other groups in the 1960s.
I'm talking about where we are now.
But where we are now and where we were then are freaking parallel. The only difference is that whenever people make critical strides and movements forward, you get these dual narratives. You get somebody pushing an agenda to the left and then somebody pushing an agenda to the right. Therefore, you do not have cohesion. People are working.
There's never been cohesion. We've always had contentious.
Okay,
look at the '60s. I lived in.
Yes, but look how many people had a sense of optimism that they could change the country. I just listened. I have an album of JFK's speeches. I'm going to go get an album of Martin Luther King's speeches.
They're great.
They're phenomenal.
That's where we should be headed. But what I'm talking about today's message from all the forms of communication that I'm aware of, whether it's the universities or the TV and the movies, it's all far.
I'm agreeing with you. You can
I'm
use
a deplorable. I'm not just wrong. I'm a deplorable.
Well, guess what? You know, okay, here, again, my lane, right? This is where my cognitive understanding, neurolinguistic programming, everything. A great book everybody should read, Marshall Rosenberg's Nonviolent Communication, because there's ways to communicate without triggering people. Now, I could trigger somebody in 2 seconds, and I did it kind of as an experiment, but I kind of felt bad about it. By calling Americans, a segment of Americans, deplorable, you immediately trigger them. That was not a mistake. That was done intentionally. And this is what I'm trying to get to, because I'm very much agreeing with you, but I don't agree with your labeling. But I do agree with your conclusion that there is a narrative that is corrupting people's mindset.
I want you to read, I have a little book. It's really a large pamphlet. It's by a nice little Jewish girl from Brooklyn named Diana West. It's called The Red Thread. I know this is 50s, this is McCarthy. It's not.
Don't project on me what I think.
She points out. You know what Comey was in college. Comey was a communist. Brennan, who was the CIA, who's now in deep doo-doo because it just came out that he used the CIA to go after Trump all during this, from the time he got in office. That's illegal. The CIA cannot do that stuff.
It's not supposed to do things domestically.
Guess what he did? He worked for who was the perpetual communist presidential candidate? Hal Brennan got to be the head of the CIA. Shows you how far things have come. Brennan's a communist.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know. This is legit, and I'm going to try to bring it down. And I seriously want your opinion. This is a serious ask Cornelia,
the font of wisdom and wit and.
Okay, I'm gonna qualify this by saying that this question is as serious as I take fishing. And
wow.
So it's a serious question. Do you believe, as a person who understands the Constitution and stuff like that, do you believe that any person in high office in politics should be allowed to be a dual citizen? That's my question.
I have mixed feelings about that because, my father was born in Ireland, so technically I qualify for one of those. I could become a dual citizenship. Now, it has no appeal. I never have pursued it because it has no appeal to me. But I love America. That's why I'm here with you. I swear,
right.
I should be.
I love America too. But
I just turned 80. Okay. I should be.
But I want you to
in Florida somewhere.
I want you to go back to the question, and I'm going to say it one more time. Do you believe that a person in high office, we're talking about in the levers of control, should be there should be allowed to be a dual citizen?
Well, there are constitutional restrictions against that. You have to be an American. You can't get elected president.
No. I didn't say not an American. I said a person with dual citizenry. If you have dual citizenry.
Well, who are you talking about?
I'm just asking a question. I'm not. That's a whole nother kettle of fish.
Well, let me put it this way: if they have dual citizenship and I assume it's legal, because of certain countries you can do it with.
Sure.
As long as it's America. Oh, Trump. America first. Absolutely. So if your priorities are what's good for America, not only in the immediate sense but in the long range, then if you can't have that as your priority, then you're abusing it, and you should be.
But if they're in office already,
well, then vote them out.
But the awareness of the situation,
vote them out.
Might not, but nobody. I might be the first person that even brought this narrative up as a question.
Well, you must be talking about a couple of specific.
I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying.
Anyway, I don't think that's as important as.
Oh, it's very
Wait,
important.
we got 2 minutes
3,
left.
2, 1, and you've been on the Reginald Cornelia Roundtable.
No,
And let me
no.
tell you, if
No,
you
no,
want
we
to
got
talk
two.
about round tables,
Yes,
this
I know.
table is as round as my forehead.
This is it's sort of oblong, but it's a little bit like a football. In
Yes.
fact, I also belong to the Tuesday Club, Mayor Rickenback's Tuesday Club, which now meets on Thursday.
Is that a strip club?
Not that I know of. I haven't. I've
'Cause I
never.
got singles.
I've never taken off my clothes. No, and I'm fairly young there.
I'm sure you're thinking.
I'm sure.
Well, then sign me up. It's not.
You should, oh no, but you.
Oh, that's right. No blacks allowed.
No, we. No, not. We have one. We have a token. Yeah.
You see, a token. See, this is language. This is America.
No, he's from. I think it's Sag Harbor. Yeah, Sag Harbor.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, Nat.
King Cole.
No.
So many times,
it's great.
as long as you.
You might not believe. I have a whole collection of 30s and 40s and 50s, not 50, early rock and roll.
Why would you qualify it by saying it would be hard for you to believe?
Well,
Reg,
because I don't come across as a.
Yes, you do. You're a hipster. Okay, look, this man off screen when he's not playing a communist fighter is a damn hippie. Okay, that's right. He's a hippie. Wears beads. He smokes weed. He drives around a Volkswagen Bug. And I don't want anybody to believe this narrative. He's actually undercover for the CIA.
I've never smoked weed. I've never owned a Volkswagen Bus. I have some friends. Oh, we're getting ready to go.
Well, that's perfect.
We have
Reg,
20 seconds left.
Fantastic.
We are going to continue.
The next clan meeting is on Wednesday.
Because we're going to continue this at some future date. We'll be a little more focused because obviously we have enough to talk about that we should have planned it. Anyway, thank you. You've been listening to the Reggie's Roundtable on LTV. Thank you.